Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to the new video. Well, this topic is about management as profession. I would like to update you something in advance. We are learning a question called nature of management. And you all know nature of management has three basic points. Management as art, management as science, and management as profession. Art and science is already being covered in 2 days. We have also seen You Should Know box yesterday, which was covering management is both art and science. And today we are going to cover a topic called management as profession. Now, we all know profession word is not new for us. We have been knowing this word from our past. If you recall in standard 11, when we were learning chapter number 1, nature and purpose of business, we used to have a difference called difference between business, employment, and profession. So this is the same word of profession which is coming to us, and we are going to see, is management having all the characteristics of profession or not. So yes, there are 5 points which we are going to see, and I'm revealing you in advance that in first point we will match, but in remaining 4 points we are not going to match management as profession. So let's see without wasting our time. The first and the foremost we have to see is the definition of profession. Profession is actually called an occupation which is backed by knowledge and in which entry is restricted. What do I mean by this? Yes, profession is an occupation. See, for a doctor is running his occupation. He's a professional person. He could be a chest specialist, he could be a cardiologist, he could be renal transplanter, or he could be a general physician. All these are occupations. Same way, lawyer is also a professional person. There can be a criminal lawyer, there can be property lawyer, there can be family dispute lawyer. We have lawyers in different variations. So they are all into occupation, which is backed by knowledge. Matlab, these doctors, these lawyers all have gained certain amount of knowledge. And in profession, entry is restricted. That means you cannot become professional only by having some knowledge. You also need to have specific degree for the same. Till the time you do not have degree, you cannot be called professional. Like sitting right now here in front of you, I can say I have knowledge of business. I can start business. No one can stop me. Although I do have a knowledge, little bit of lawyership also, but that does not mean I'll be called professional. I need to have a complete knowledge. I need to have a professional degree. I need to have a practice certificate then and then. So definition is well said. A profession is an occupation which is backed by knowledge in which entry is restricted. Now, in upcoming few points, we are going to see whether management is a complete profession or not. So here comes the title, Features of Profession versus Management. And first point, well-defined body of knowledge. Let's see what it says. Every profession has a well-defined body of knowledge acquired through instructions. Yes, in professionals, there are certain amount of knowledge which you are going to receive and it will be given to you. This feature of profession is available in management because management consists knowledge of concepts, theories, and principles. So if professional bodies are having their own knowledge, then management is also having their own knowledge. What is the simple way to understand? Say for an example, if I have to be a lawyer, I have to go through LLB, LLM. Yes, there is a well-defined body of knowledge. So if I want to be a manager, I have to be BBA, MBA. For that also, sufficient amount of knowledge is available. This knowledge can be acquired from various books and journals. So like for professionals, if we have books available, for management also various books are available in the market. So this is the first point, well body of knowledge, where profession and management are meeting or matching each other. Now, one more important instruction. Since it's a recording and if you want to go through this point, I would request you, why don't you pause it? In this recording, I'll be strictly moving to the second point. The second point says restricted entry. So what it's going to be, let's see. Profession restricts the entry through an examination and also by an educational degree. You need to have an educational degree, then and then you will be allowed to enter that professional. Like if you become a CA in India, then a candidate has to clear examination conducted by ICAI, the Indian Chartered Accountants Institutions or Institution for Chartered Accountants in India. Then only you can become the CA. Now, is it the case in the management? That we have to see. This feature is not available in management, as management is open for all individuals who want to learn skills irrespective of educational qualification or background. This point is trying to emphasize that if you're a professional and you want to do professional things, you need to have degree. Otherwise, you cannot be called professional. That is not the case with the business. In business, if you want to gain any kind of knowledge, professional degrees are not required, educational qualification backgrounds are not required. In any way, you should not understand that I'm saying that studies are not required. You need to study, you need to gain knowledge. Study always help you, knowledge always help you, but it's not essential thing that you need to have certain degree to have a business. You are taking an example of local market, then yes, in textile market so many businessmen are there who might have hardly cleared their 10th or 12th. Even after this, they are successful business entrepreneurs. So which proves our point that if you want to be a professional, you need to have a degree, but that's not the same case in case of management. So we have just in restricted entry. As I've said, if you want to learn this again, pause it, learn it, and go ahead. Going to third point, this is called professional association. So it is necessary for professional to be the part of any association. That's not going to be the case in the management. So let's see the point for ourselves. All professionals are associate to professional body, which will regulate their entry and grants them certificate of practice. Now, this is very interesting thing. Professional persons has to be with some professional body also. It's not that mere degree will allow you to do your work. That means if I've become a CA, I need to join any of the management body which is of CA. They will, maintain my entry and will grant me certificate of practice. That is also in the case of lawyers, that you are done with LLB, you are done with LLM, which are obviously the courses for lawyership, but then you also need to join Bar Council of Lawyers for local city, which will grant you a certificate of practice. Once you join this body, it is called that you have joined professional association, which is quite compulsory for professional person. Well, in case of management, that's not going to be the case. Let's see for ourselves. As for example, a lawyer has to become a member of Bar Council of Lawyer to practice law in India. In every city, Bar Council of Lawyer is a local body in which every lawyer who completes his lawyership studies has to get himself registered. Then and there he'll get the certificate of practice. So what happens in management? This feature is also not available in management, as it is not compulsory for managers to be a member of any association. Like there is an organization called AIMA. AIMA call All India Managers Association, but it is not compulsion for any manager to join this organization. It's only compulsory for professional. So at third level, we have seen the point called professional association. You can again pause, read again, revise again, then only you should come to fourth. The fourth point says ethical code of conduct. My dear friends, every professional has to follow ethical code of conduct which is given to them. Well, in case of business, there is no, unified code of conduct. Every businessman have their own code of conduct which they follow in their own way. Let's see. All professionals are bound by code of conduct and that is absolutely inevitable. यानी सारे professionals के लिए code of conduct है. They have to follow these rules and regulation and this is not avoidable for them. Inevitable मतलब they cannot avoid this. जैसे for an example, every doctor take the oath of ethical practices when they enter the profession. So when they are entering this profession, they have to take this oath that they are going to serve for the community. And this ethical code of conduct, they cannot bound to break at any cost. Right now, COVID-19 is going on and it's an excellent example that every doctor has to perform their duty. If you want to come up and serve into civil service hospitals, you're moreover welcome over there. Or at least if you're having any dispensary or hospital, you're supposed to be serving over there. Right now, they are also acting as a frontliners. So yes, doctors have to take that ethical oath of practices. Now, this feature is also not available in management as there is no uniform code of conduct for managers. Like for doctors and professionals, there is ethical code of conduct which is uniform for all. For management, there is no uniform code of conduct. As I've said, businessmen rules and regulations या code of conduct follow नहीं करते, ऐसा नहीं है. सबके individual code of conduct है, खुद के rules and regulations है. जैसे फॉर एन एग्जाम्पल, आपकी खुद की बिल्डिंग के आप एग्जाम्पल ले सकते हो. जहाँ पे बहुत सारे टेक्सटाइल ओनर्स रह रहे हैं, is it that every textile owner is going to the office 9 a.m. sharp? That's not the case. They have full freedom. Somebody would go at 9 a.m., somebody would prefer at 11 a.m., somebody would go in later in the noon, or maybe somebody who will decide everything from the home only. So we have uniform code of conduct. We don't have uniform code of conduct. We are our individual code of conduct. As for example, code of conduct given by AIMA do not stand for universal acceptance. So all India Managers Association ने code of conduct दिया है, but सारे businessmen या management को उसको follow करना है, ऐसा कोई compulsion नहीं है. So consecutively for the third point, we are able to see that management and profession is not matching. You can see for the fourth point, and then we can go to the final point, that is final point of service motive, point number 5th. If you see, let's have a quick small recap. We have seen well-defined body of knowledge in which management and profession was matching. Then we have seen restricted entry where we were not matching. We have seen professional association, we were not matching over there. And ethical practices, that is called ethical code of conduct. There also management and profession were not matching. And now we have come to the final point. This is called point of service motive. Let's see, are we matching or not? I've already told you we are not going to match, but let's see. The motive of profession is to serve the clients by providing them services. Like a task of lawyer is to ensure that his clients gets justice. Say for an example, I have a dispute with my brother in case of property. And this dispute is not coming to any of the settling down area in the home premises. So now I've decided to take the help of the lawyer. Now lawyer will not judge me whether I'm right or wrong. For a lawyer, I am always their client, and he has to make sure that if I have some problem, he has to provide me the justice. Same is the case with the doctor. Doctor may not use the word client, but he will use it as a patient. Say for an example, I'm going with a common problem of stomachache, then he will inspect me and he will suggest me certain medicines in which his motive is to make sure that his patient or client gets relief from the stomachache. So basically every professional has a service motive where they think that they should serve the clients in their better services. Now, is it in the case of management or not? That's what we have to see. Now, this feature is also not available in management, as basic aim of management is to help organization to achieve its goals. So what do we learn from this sentence? See, understand, professional and client are different things. Client goes to a professional person, asks for the services, and in return pays the fees. Management and organizations are not different. A management cannot say my organization is my client and I am getting services for my client. No, management is a part of organization. Management is actually hired by organization, and it's a duty of management to achieve every objective which is desired by organization. जैसे फॉर एन एग्जांपल किसी भी स्कूल का हम नाम ले ले, तो स्कूल का एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन होगा, स्कूल एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, और उसका मैनेजमेंट का एम होगा कि वो अपने स्टूडेंट्स को बेस्ट ऑफ द बेस्ट एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड करे इस कंडीशन में भी. तो यहाँ पे मैनेजमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को क्लाइंट की तरह नहीं ले रहा है, मैनेजमेंट उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का एक इनएविटेबल पार्ट है. तो यहाँ पे भी सर्विस मोटिव के केस में मैनेजमेंट और प्रोफेशन अलग अलग हो रहे हैं. So from all this discussion, we can say management is not possessing all the features of profession. So let's see what we have concluding statement. The concluding statement says, from all this, it can be concluded that management does not possesses all necessary features of profession. So my dear friends, this point concludes the entire learning of nature of management. I would again like to make you understand that we have already learned management of art and management as science. We have also seen management is both art and science in small window. And this video is specially made for you so that you can understand this one of the easiest topic, management as profession. So here video comes to an end. Kindly see through it thoroughly and then make sure that you make full utilization of it. Thank you so much for tuning in right now.